Welcome back to Project Rebirth. Today we're going to take a look at a figure that purports to be the John Wick Mayfex figure number 70. I bought this figure on Amazon, and of course right after I made the purchase, reviews started popping up warning people not to buy the figure, that it's a counterfeit or bootleg figure. I want to be clear that I am not making any allegations against either the seller or Amazon that this figure is in fact a bootleg. I'll leave that for you to form your own opinions, but I did want to make people aware that those comments and reviews are up on the figure, and it's quite possible because I did get this figure probably around $36, which would be substantially cheaper than a typical Mayfex figure. But anyway, regardless, let's take a look at what we got here. Here's a look at the front of the box. Here is the left side of the box, the right side, and here's a look at the back of the box. All right, let's get John Wick out of the box. Taking a look at inner packaging, in addition to the figure has a spare head, and there's a total of 4 weapons, 2 automatic machine guns, as well as 2 pistols, and 2 extra sets of hands. On the back, there is a display stand for the figure. Okay, so here's the figure out of the box, and I have to say overall this is pretty cool. So if it's a fake, it's a really good fake. And here we can take a look at the other head. Get the focus. So the head that's in my hand here has no scratches, and of course bloody scratches on the head version that's on the figure. And here's one of the guns. And the only downside, this is a really cool gun, is the way they did this with the strap, which is very goofy, and we can talk more about that later, but I'd almost like to perhaps cut that strap off, because I tried to adjust it, and the way it's on the front of the gun, I don't think that's possible. Here's one of the other guns. And one of the pistols, and the other pistol is just a very similar but smaller than this. Let's take a quick look at articulation. The figure's head can look down actually quite significantly, and look up as well. Look, you can turn the head. I don't want to risk it, but probably could go all the way around. Shoulders can extend to beyond 90 degrees. And we have a double jointed elbow. And the figure can rotate at the wrist and flex inward and outward slightly at the wrist. There is the movement's actually up here in the upper torso, but there is an amp crunch. And the figure can turn side to side. And this is all very, very wobbly. The figure's leg can extend to about 90 degrees and bend past 90 degrees. And looks like, oh, I didn't break that. But there is a joint at the toe, so that the toe can flex up and down. Looks like I forced that down a little bit more than I meant to, but there is movement at the feet and ankle as well. All right, so when I went to switch the head out, the entire neck came out. So this part here is what goes into the figure itself. But the frustrating thing is this stayed stuck in the figure's head, whereas here's the other head here. So I think for now I'm stuck with putting this head back on the neck. Probably could heat that up and work that joint out of there, but it's right now more bother than it's worth. All right, so here's my final thoughts with regard to this John Wick figure that may or may not be the Mayfex number 70. I think the figure is very cool looking. And, when I first heard and read the warnings not to buy it, that it might be a bootleg, which it probably is, I had some doubts about whether the purchase was the right decision. And overall, now I don't regret it because, like I said, I got this substantially cheaper than the real product. And overall, it looks pretty decent. I think the only problem would be the figure's face. If you look up, I'm going to show some photographs now. But the problem is his face looks like it was printed with a old-fashioned dot matrix printer, or has a little bit of a pointillism, Vincent van Gogh style look to it. So if you get up real close with the face, you're going to lose some detail, and it's not going to look too good. But overall, I think this does capture the look and essence of Keanu Reeves, and I'm very happy that I have this figure. If the figure is illegal or a bootleg, then I really don't feel as a reviewer that I can endorse the idea or encourage other people to go out and buy it. So you'll just have to make that decision for yourself. But overall, I'm pleased that I did make this purchase. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Project Rebirth review.